Hi, my name's Dr. Jim Shoopack, and I want to welcome you to the second episode of the podcast, Matters and Mischief, with me, Dr. Jim Shoopack. I'm so glad you're here. Just a reminder before I get into the podcast, the release date will generally be each Tuesday at about 7 a.m. Eastern Time. So please subscribe on your favorite podcast platform, usually on Apple Podcasts and also on Spotify Podcasts. Those are the two big ones to look to stay on top of all releases. So, as we all know, life is hard, really hard, and sometimes it can be exceptionally hard. We all face seasons of grief, of loss, of depression, or also the weight of expectations that unfortunately we just can't meet. Welcome to being human. Even in darkness, there is a spark of light waiting for us, and it is a spark we can reclaim. This podcast is about finding that spark, sometimes through faith, sometimes through service, sometimes through small intentional steps that help us feel alive again. I want to share a little bit about me, not just to tell my story, but to help you know that you are not alone. I have had two major bouts of depression. Major depressive disorder is the technical term for it. Once was in 2001, after feeling that I had truly lost my identity. I wasn't who I thought I would be by the age of 25. And again in 2021, as a result partly of teaching during COVID, but not as much caring for my family, but it was a lot through losing my brother Bob to suicide. It was more directly a result of losing my brother and one of my best friends, Bob, to suicide. Dreams and expectations, they didn't line up with reality. And that can be devastating. It was for me, and it surely can be for you. But I did find ways to rise again. And my hope is to hopefully demonstrate and teach you some of those ways where you can rise again. For me personally, I found ways to rise again in running marathons. I've completed 21 so far, and I have a lifetime goal of 100. I've been blessed to go on service trips to Mexico, Honduras, El Salvador, Nicaragua. I've been to Appalachia in West Virginia, as well as Camden, New Jersey on service trips, and even local trips in my home state of Pennsylvania. And really helping others, that boost up can give your own life new meaning. It has for me. Even in pain, there is purpose. And even in loss, there can be hope. That's truly why I started this podcast. To share what I've learned, the struggles and the victories, in the hope it can help someone else to find that spark. Why this podcast? Because I know what it's like to feel stuck, to feel like no one truly understands, to carry grief quietly, hoping it will pass. I want to walk alongside you, to share reflections, stories, and tools that inspire, educate, and help you take small steps forward. Think of this as a companion, a few minutes of encouragement in your week, something to pause, reflect, and maybe take a small step forward. Here's what to expect in future episodes. Short solo reflections on mental health, grief, faith, service, and growth. Inspiring stories from people whose journeys can teach and encourage. Eventually, I would like to get some guests on the show, maybe some co-hosts. That will be at a later time. Practical tools, reflection prompts, and sometimes guided breath prayers to help you feel grounded. Episodes are going to be, my goal is 10 to 15 minutes, sometimes a little longer, but just enough to be meaningful, short enough to fit into your busy schedule. Before we close, please remember this. Wherever you are, carrying grief, navigating depression, or just seeking encouragement, you are not alone. There is hope, there is light, and you can reclaim it.